Welcome back to another Tuesday of Sheer Motivation Podcast. We love and appreciate you guys tuning in every week, telling a friend to tell a friend. We see some of y'all been checking us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so we appreciate it. This episode is just a recap of the entire season. We're bringing season 1 to a happy close. We've had a lot of fun doing this. We're on episode 12. Tina and I came together and brought a dream to reality, thinking back over it, and just doing something that was outside of the box was fun. Tina had an idea in her mind, I had an idea in my mind, and the way we crossed paths and decided to partner up was just amazing. So she had an idea, to do something audio, and I had an idea to do something audio and visual, and we threw the ideas in a hat and was like, hey, let's get together and collab, and this would be a fun thing to do, like, to capture these conversations, the laughter, the ups and downs of your day, your week, motherhood, just life period. Capture it, bottle it up into little episodes, and motivate each other and motivate you guys. So it's been fun. It's been a journey. We started on the iPad and evolved, and we've been having a good time.
Right.
So this episode, I guess we're gonna do some random questions and things like that.
Yeah, so we want to thank you again. Is just piggybacking off what Delene said. We just want to thank you for rocking with us. We hope that something that we said has motivated you or inspired you to be the greater you. That's what it's all about. It's a walk. It's a journey. Life is a journey. So we know that we've told you a little bit about ourselves. About our pet relationships, parenting, children, dilemmas, dating, relationships. So we've given you a little insight on us, but now we're going to, unpeel another level of telling you about why this podcast is so near and dear to us and what we've gained from Sheer Motivation Podcast and wrapping up this season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've gained from it is, they love to say that two women can't agree on things, that we can't work well together. And I think this podcast has shattered that theory, because we work well together. We work together. We socialize outside of work, and then we come together to shoot our weekly episodes of the podcast. We
can't get enough of each other.
Yeah, it's overdose. It's overdose. But no, I love Delina, and we talk.
Love me, girl.
Yeah, we talk, and the conversation is always engaging, and it always sparks me to think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Or some things that I could do different. And we laugh and joke a lot, and laughter is medicine to the soul.
It is.
So we're just so thankful that we have each other. People love to say no new friends, but Delina is a new friend of mine. We crossed paths some years ago in the Newport News court system, and our interaction there was very brief, but she was always hospitable, always nice or whatever. And then when I started this new job, she saw my name on the email or the welcome thing that they send out prior to you coming. And she kind of was wondering, where do I know that name from? I mean, Shantina is not a name that you'll see a lot of, So she thought that name sounded familiar. And when I came in, she was like, oh, it is you. She was like, I knew that name.
She was like, where do I know you from?
No, I didn't.
Yes, she did.
No, I did not.
She hit me with the up and down.
Because you were excited. And I couldn't figure out why you were excited. I'm like, who's this excited about the new girl? Yeah, I'm like, who's this excited about the new girl show? Like, they must be short-staffed or something must be going on around here. They set me up for the okie doke because she, like, over the top, excited to have me. Like, good, now we got somebody else we can torture.
Yeah.
So, but, granted, like I said, she was very welcoming in the new capacity. And then we kind of caught up on some things, how life had happened and where we had been since our last interaction when she was in courts and I was in bonding. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everybody crosses paths, for a reason, and we started chatting, and we've had some parallel experiences, some different experiences, and so I'm grateful, to even be in this space and be, doing it. It's fun. It's something that, I've looked back on a few of the episodes and motivated myself. So, when we were talking about it, Tina was like, "Oh yeah, I've thought about doing a podcast, like an audio version." I'm like, "Well, that's crazy because I wanted to do something like, audio and visual." I was like, "Let's do a podcast." And I was expecting her to be like, "What?" She was like, "Let's do it." I'm like, "Okay." And yeah, like you said, there is this thing where they say women love to compete with each other and they're not really supportive of each other. And, this, like she said, has broken down that wall and proved that that theory is not correct. And we've had a great time doing it. And this is season 1. Hopefully, we'll get into season 2, 3, 4, 5, but we are taking a small break to revamp some things and get some things in place, and then we'll come back with season 2. And it's gonna be, exciting. I'm excited about it, and I hope you guys will continue to watch and share, and hopefully we'll continue to motivate you through your work weeks and your daily lives and things like that. But we were gonna do some random questions.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna check because I asked some people to send me a couple of random questions. Oh, we got some notes too.
Yeah, we do still have notes to. So, we talk a lot about healing. We talk a lot about, doing the work, unpacking, and moving forward from past hurt and trauma. And if you tuned in, you'll see that that's a reoccurring message. And I would like to say that, healing, nobody's healing journey is going to look like anyone else's. So someone asked me what ideas or what pointers do I have with somebody that wants to start going to therapy. So with finding a therapist, you should find somebody that your insurance accepts, or if you're Medicaid or whatever, find somebody that works with that type of insurance that you have, and then you can go and try and see if that person works best for you. Definitely scheduling with everything else going on with your life. Make sure that the time aligns with what you have going on. So it's not just you show up there, a therapist, and you're stuck with them. Sometimes it takes multiple therapists before you find one that works right for what it is you have going on.
Yeah, and I would say if you're a man, figure out if you feel more comfortable talking to another man or a woman. If you're a woman, think about whether or not you feel comfortable having a male therapist or a female therapist, and then availability. Sometimes your friends can recommend, people that have worked for them, but Tina is right. Finding a therapist is sometimes like finding a pediatrician for your child. You have to, you might have to take a couple times before you get it right. So yeah, look through resources at your job. Ask a friend to refer somebody. Think about whether or not you want a male or female. Think about scheduling and proximity. Do you want a place that's closer to your job so when you get off, you're closer, you can just schedule it, or do you want something closer to home? But yeah, I say those are good pointers when you're deciding to find a therapist.
And keep in mind, virtual is also an option for some therapists as well, where, in your 30-minute lunch, 30 minutes or hour lunch, you might could get a session in the middle of the day or first thing in the morning. So, always ask, do they have virtual options to accommodate you as well? I know that works well for some of the youngsters, with, because it's 30 minutes and it's in the comfort of their own home. So that was a good question. I hope that helps someone. If you're looking for a therapist, definitely do your research, get with your insurance company, and find someone that is very accommodating to your life situations.
And a question that I got was, okay. This is a question in a comment, I guess. I love the podcast. I think it's dope that you two are taking real life situations and using them to encourage and motivate and unpack things that get people's feathers fluffed. With all that being said, who motivates you in your darkest moment and what keeps you going? So that's a good question.
That is a great question.
Well, it's been a roller coaster. Sometimes I haven't had anybody to motivate me. Sometimes I had to dig deep and pray. There's been times where my back is against the wall and I look back and be like, well, how did I, okay, prayer works, prayer changes things. I'm working on my relationship with God. I'm trying to get closer. I am not perfect. I said that, and I think in the very first episode, but I incorporate prayer into my everyday life. I talk to God when I wake up in the morning. Before I go to sleep, I pray, and it's not a prayer like there's a certain way to do it. I talk to God like I'm talking to a friend and just really trying to keep that relationship thriving. So I think my biggest motivation has been prayer. I have a really good circle of friends. When I'm really like tapped out, I can go to and lean on, and walk away from those conversations feeling lighter. So, just prayer and good company really helps to motivate me and nudge me in the right direction. And, and it feels good to have friends say, "Oh, I seen the podcast. That was funny when, or I liked what you said when da 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 da, and so that's motivating, it gives me something positive to attach myself to."
Mm-hmm. So my greatest motivation is being around other women, being around other women, gaining strength and energy and insight from others, from their tests and trials and things that they've gone on. It just leads me to believe that my life has been as hard as some others. You know what I mean? And I look at my upbringing. I look at, where my life is now. And I'm like, whoa, it wasn't that. But going through it, it seemed like it was very, very murky water. But now, getting to where I am now, it's like it wasn't that bad. And then hearing other women tell their trials and stories and different things like that. And I'm like, wow, I'm just so glad that God shielded me from that. That's not my testimony. That's not the thing that I had to go through. But I'm thankful. And I'm thankful for my life. And I'm thankful for the life of the woman who's sharing the story with me, that she's still here to tell her story, because nobody can tell your story like you. So I gained motivation from that, and I also gained motivation from my children, because I have somebody that's looking up to me to keep going, to keep pushing forward, to keep trying to hit the mark. So that's a two-answer question. Two answers required for that question for me. But I think that is a great question. And, viewers out there, maybe you need to sit down and figure out, who do I gain motivation from? Who am I around that I get drained from? Who do I get filled from? And then if the person that you get filled from, don't overwhelm them, but try to navigate to an arena where you're spending more time, being filled instead of being drained.
Yeah. And that touches on what we talked about in a couple episodes ago, when we talked about friendships and taking an inventory of who's in your life, and paying attention to how you feel prior to being in their company, when you're in their company, and when you leave their company. Like, what space do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel drained? Do you feel angry? Do you feel sad? Just taking that inventory of the friends you have, the company you keep, like they say, what is it? Bad company corrupts good habits. Just taking that inventory and saying, you know what, like, is this a friendship that I need to entertain? Or do I need to put some space there? Do I need to cut it off?
Right.
Is this person respecting my boundaries? Am I respecting their boundaries? Is this a thriving friendship? Is it depleting me? So I think that's important.
Very important. Very, very important.
Doing this podcast, I've been asked, so what made you want to do that? For me, it's just, and I enjoy having conversations with Tina. We laugh, we joke. And I said to her, we need to start capturing some of those conversations on here, because we've had some laughing, crying tears, conversations. We need to, so hopefully in season 2, we'll get more and more comfortable to go there, because we need more of that. But doing this is a place to just unpack with another woman who can relate. You can relate to motherhood. You can relate to working a full-time job, running a household, dating, living life, trying to be there for your kids, being there for your friends, and being there for yourself. It's a lot. So I think in doing this podcast is, helping us to grow our friendship and motivate each other, and give people a chance to be like, yeah, I was dealing with something like that too, and hopefully it motivates you guys.
Yeah. So when let's get another question. But when you were saying that, I was definitely thinking, we do have some uncandid conversations. Because Delina is a who, why, what.
Yeah, and that drives Tina nuts.
Drives me nuts because I'm like, it is what I say, and it is what I say it is. And she kind of wants to know, the backstory or the underlying issue, and so we laugh, and I'm like, it is because I said it is, and I just, I start cutting my eye at her.
Yeah.
But, when we're talking about effective communication, I do understand that that's not effective communication, because for every idea or, every opinion that I have, it should have some underlying basis, to it, why I feel the way I do. And I have to be able to support that. What is it called? Like, a theory? What is it? When you have to write the long-term paper? A thesis. So I have to remember who I'm talking. I'm talking to Dr. Delina over here, and she wants to hear more and how and why. And sometimes I just don't have those answers.
And it drives Tina nuts.
I'm
like, this ain't a personal attack. I'm just trying to understand how we got here.
Right. So, but
she yelled at me too, y'all.
I believe in people being individuals. So when somebody says it is what it is, what their like or dislike is, I just believe that that's part of their, their makeup, their individualization. And I don't try to minimize them or condemn them or anything like that. I'm like, that's, I might think in my mind that's a little strange, but I'm like, maybe they're strange.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's okay. I guess for me, I try to understand, because I feel like if I understand the why behind something or what led up to, then I can better understand where we are now. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I suppose it could be quite annoying, but I mean, I just need to know why. I always need more.
So do you when kids are like 3 years old, like 2 and 3 years old, and they be like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
That would be me.
Why? You like, because I said what I said. So it's funny, but it does cause you to think, to continue to think, and think back to a time like I haven't always thought like this. When did this thought enter my mind? When did I get the way that I am, or whatever? Yeah, that's good. But I just thought I should let y'all know that that's what I'm dealing with off camera.
Yeah. She yells at me.
No, I don't. I'm just like, Delina. So, when someone says that you're a lot, if someone were to describe you and say that you're a lot, what would you think they meant?
I've been described as a lot. I think it's in terms of maybe your personality being strong, your opinion, maybe. Let me tell you what I've been told. I've been told that I have a very strong personality. And I'm very opinionated. I mean, and I can be a lot, I guess.
What did it say? Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, I've been told that I was a lot, and I mean, so I'm thinking. So when I hear somebody else say that, I'm thinking that perhaps they mean your personality is too much, or it's a bit more than what they're used to. The personality, or the you're opinionated, or maybe you have strong holds on certain things. I mean, that's what I would take from it. Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah, but I found a poem, or maybe just a response to that, and I thought when they said you're a lot, it's a lot to deal with you or whatever, and if you could take that, well, it depends, in an offensive manner.
Okay.
It was like
Yeah.
I think I took it in an offensive manner, like, what you mean I'm a lot to deal with? But in that response it says you're right. I'm a lot of woman with a lot of layers, a lot of personality, a lot of dreams, a lot of ideas, a lot of strategy, a lot of emotions, and a lot of love. Yeah, you're right. I am a lot. So if anyone's ever told you that you're a lot, don't look at that as like a bad thing. Like, yeah, I'm a lot. And are you open to receiving this lot, this whole lot?
Because I'm a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And like I said, it's not a lot of bad. It's a lot of ideas, a lot of love, a lot of dreams. And that's what we should be full of, is loving ourselves, continuing to dream, continuing to set goals, continue to elevate and move forward with, good things. We're filling our life with positivity. So I don't look at it as a lot is a bad thing.
But you were initially. Okay.
Yeah, but I had to retrain my mindset to think, yeah, I am a lot. But the person that's for me, I know, and I've said this multiple times, the person that's for me, they're gonna know. They're gonna know that they got a gem.
They are. They are. They really are. Because I think you're a beautiful woman. I think you're smart. I think you have a lot going on for you, for yourself. And I mean, you writing books and I just think it's amazing. You do all that while juggling kids. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You are a lot. And not in a bad way. I think you have an amazing personality. Tina is a little comedian, too. And I want to capture more of that when we start doing season 2. But Tina is a comedian. And so, yeah, I think when your person finds you, because in season 2, you're not gonna be finding that person. That person gonna find you.
Oh, okay.
Because we talked about how in season 1, how she be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. She pull up, but season 2, her person gonna find her. Y'all, we'll recap on that in season 2.
Right. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But yeah, I do believe that when your person, they are gonna say you a lot. And I love all of it.
And that you got to be able to receive your person. You got to be able to receive them. Compatibility. We've touched on that. When when things don't align. And you can't convince somebody that I'm a lot and you want this. If you're a lot and they don't want to deal with it, then they can't receive you properly.
Yeah, and I think relationships and friendships, it should be work and effort put into them, but it shouldn't be so much work that you're drained and depleted and you're like, oh my gosh, So yeah, I think your person will find you and you'll be a lot, but they'll love it. And I hope that the holiday season is beautiful for everybody. Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and then after the new year, we'll be back with season 2. I'm excited for season 2. We'll catch you up on our holidays and all the things that we have going on. And hopefully you'll be sharing with your friends and sharing with coworkers and still listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we'll be motivating you through the new year.
I encourage you, if you missed any past episodes, to definitely go back and listen to them, engage with them. We'll be steadily reading the comments. If you have questions, put them in there so that we can emphasize those points, because we want to be a resource to you. We're not just up here talking frivolously for something to do, because I'm quite sure Delina can think of a few things she could be doing with this time, and I could think of a few things but I look at it as my civic duty to get up here, be before you, and just live my transparent, authentic life before you. So if you have a chance, if any episodes you missed, or if you're one of our new subscribers, definitely go back and catch some of those old episodes. And
yes.
Yeah.
Please stop what you're doing right now. Season 1 has come to a close, but go back. Go on the YouTube, click through the episodes, get your dose of motivation, share, like, subscribe, And we will see you soon with season 2. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.